The movie starts with a group of passengers in the middle of the ocean, near the country of Nigeria. A girl is standing at the edge of the boat, looking into the water. Her girl's birthday, and Jong has bought her a walkie-talkie as a gift. The girl doesn't like the strange gift at all and becomes upset. The people on the boat are happily watching dolphins jump in the water. No one knows that the dolphins and fish are actually fleeing from giant monsters lurking beneath them. Suddenly, the monster strikes the boat, and everyone falls to the ground. The boat begins to capsize, and most of the passengers fall into the water. Jong tries with all his strength to save his daughter. He manages to jump and grab her. Then he sees a terrifying, giant shadow moving beneath the people. The monster hits the ship again, and both of them fall into the water. After a while, Jong regains consciousness and finds himself on the shore. His companions from the boat are around him, most of them injured. But the real problem is, his daughter is missing. He starts searching for her and begin calling out to each other. Jong sees his daughter among them. Jong collapses to the ground, completely devastated. After the snake devours dozens of people, it retreats and disappears into the forest. He decides that he will rescue her, no matter what it takes. A few of the survivors agree to join him. A man named Mao, armed with an axe, volunteers to lead the group on a mission to find the giant snake. The group begins to move into the forest, while others choose to stay behind. But what happens next is terrifying. The people who stayed behind are taken one by another monster. They soon realize that there's a creature with giant tentacles pulling them in. Everyone runs away in fear, except for one person who freezes in shock, and he is taken too. Meanwhile, the giant snake returns to its lair and regurgitates all the people it had swallowed. Then, it disappears back into the forest to continue its hunt. Some of the people it swallowed are still alive. The ship's captain regains consciousness, and the captain notices that there are other people still alive. He begins helping them stand and checks on their condition. To his relief, he also finds Jong's daughter alive. One of the survivors discovers something strange in the place they're in. As they get closer, they find giant eggs. Just as one of them is about to touch one, Jong's daughter stops him and warns him not to, explaining that the egg might hatch and release another snake. They suddenly understand the horrifying truth. They're meant to be food for the snakes. Everyone is shocked and unsure of what to do. A businessman grabs a rock and attacks one of the eggs in a foolish attempt to destroy it, thinking it might harm the snake inside. But he halts the attack when he feels a strange vibration coming from the egg. It turns out the egg is hatching, and a baby snake begins to emerge. Everyone panics and hides behind nearby rocks. The snake sees them and slowly slithers toward the group. Before it attacks, it notices a woman who is unconscious. The snake changes direction and moves toward her. The woman wakes up, screams, and calls for help, but no one has the courage to save her. Tragically, she becomes the snake's first meal. Meanwhile, Jong's group continues deeper into the forest, following the snake's trail, but they find only a dead body and a trail of destroyed trees. After searching for hours, they lose the trail completely. With no idea where the snake has gone, they decide to stop and come up with a new strategy. While surveying the area, Mao notices black liquid dripping from the trees. An old man nearby lights a cigarette, and careless that the rising smoke makes it hard for everyone to breathe. Then something strange begins to happen. Jong develops a headache and looks around to see his companions smiling at him in a creepy, unnatural way. The giant snake appears, circling around the area. Jong also sees his daughter speaking to him, blaming him for failing to save her, except for one person. That person is dragged away and killed, a branch piercing through his body. With no other choice, the rest of the group flees. Back at the snake's lair, the survivors there manage to kill the baby snake, but only after it had already claimed the lives of the woman. The man who killed the snake loses control. He starts screaming hysterically and gets into a fight with another person. But a woman named Jian steps in and calms them down, insisting that if they want to survive and escape, they must work together. While that's happening, Jong's group continues searching for the giant snake. Mao crafts a strong staff for Jong, which might be useful when they confront the monster. At the same time, their teammate Fang goes to a nearby lake to drink water, but he notices something strange. A thick stream of smoke hangs in the air. Suddenly, a bizarre creature speeds past him. He's forced to hide behind a tree like the rest of the group. They notice that the fish are all flying in the direction of the smoke. The group decides to run to escape the smoke. The fish chase them at full speed, and they run desperately for their lives. When they reach the edge of the smoke, they jump out just in time to escape the attack. They watch in shock as the fish die instantly the moment they leave the smoke stream. But the danger isn't over, it's just beginning. Mao finds giant footprints on the ground, clearly left by a massive creature. He looks up, and to his horror sees a huge creature looming above them. The group is paralyzed by the creature's immense size. One of them tries to throw a rock at it, but stops when he notices massive tentacles holding the creature in place. The tentacles pull the creature back into the forest. It's clear now, they are heading deeper into a dark nightmare. The massive creature leaps into the air and lands right in front of the team. It turns out to be a giant frog. Looking furious, the team bolts in terror, but the frog grabs the old man with its long, sticky tongue and pulls him in instantly. The man grabs onto a tree while his friends rush to help him, but the frog's tongue is too strong, refusing to let him go. One now appears just in time and throws a sharp stick at the frog, hitting it in the eye. The pain causes the frog to release the old man. This gives the team a chance to escape. The frog leaps into the air and bounds through the forest, nearly attacking the team, but just then the giant snake appears and swallows the frog in one gulp. The team watches this terrifying scene unfold. The snake sees them and immediately starts chasing them into the forest, destroying everything in its path. It targets the old man and another injured man who are running more slowly. It only makes the snake focus on him. It begins chasing Fang. Fortunately, Fang manages to escape just in time, losing the snake in the thick plants. The rest of the group hides behind trees trying to stay quiet. The snake circles the area, sniffing for them. It gets close to one of the men, tracking him by scent. The man gets so scared that he wets himself. He turns his head and sees the snake staring at him. He begs the snake not to eat him, but they immediately run again as the snake continues chasing them. They find a water pond and leap into it, submerging their faces and staying completely still. This tactic works. It hides their body heat from the snake, making them invisible. Eventually, the snake gives up and leaves. Meanwhile, the survivors still inside the snake's lair hear strange rumblings. They realize the snake is returning, so they all pretend to be dead. Sure enough, the snake returns and spits out more people from its belly. Then it realizes that one of its offspring has died. In a fit of rage, it starts screaming and leaves the lair. Once the snake is gone, the survivors get up to the laboratory. Inside, they find the skeleton of a soldier and begin digging through books to understand what's happening on the island. That's when they uncover the truth. Scientists had been conducting chemical experiments on the animals here, resulting in the creatures mutating into giant savage beasts. Fortunately, Mao finds a communication device in the lab. Using some leftover chemicals, he crafts makeshift batteries and powers up the device. He begins sending distress signals, hoping the Navy will come to rescue them. Suddenly, the businessman bursts into the lab. They ask him what happened to the rest of the group he was with, but he lies, telling them they're all dead. Zhong feels devastated, believing his daughter has perished. He walks out of the house in despair, but Mao stops him. Zhong collapses to the ground, screaming in grief. Then they all hear the sound of a helicopter. They realize this might be their only chance to escape, all except Zhong, who doesn't want to leave. His daughter's device just sent him a signal, meaning she might still be alive. Zhong tells the others that his daughter is still alive because he received a signal from her device, but the businessman insists that everyone is dead. At first, the group thinks Zhong has lost his mind. Realizing he's been caught, the businessman panics and runs. The old man chases after him, while Zhong and the others set out to find their remaining friends. Meanwhile, more snakes start creeping toward them. The businessman reaches an open clearing. The helicopter finally spots him, but just then, the giant snake attacks the chopper, devouring it in one bite. The businessman is shocked and tries to run away. Then he grabs the old man by the neck and strangles him until he dies. Back at the snake pit, a swarm of snakes surrounds the survivors, but one of the snakes actually protects them, thinking that Zhong's daughter is its mother. Just then, Zhong arrives and yells when he spots his daughter. The snakes close in on the girls, and Zhong pulls with all his strength to get them out, but something terrifying stops him. The giant snake appears and lunges at Zhong to eat him. At the last second, Mao strikes the snake with an axe, wounding it. The pain gives Zhong a chance to the snake's next attacks, but it recovers quickly and nearly swallows him. That's when Fang shows up and hurls his weapon straight into the snake's other eye. Mao chops down a massive tree and sets a trap, dropping the trunk onto the snake. Stay behind with Fang to distract the snake so the rest of the team can escape safely. The snake appears and moves toward Mao and Fang. Mao runs at it bravely, unafraid of dying. The snake slams the ground, throwing Mao into the air, but he gets up and slashes the snake's skin with his axe. However, the attack has no effect. The snake hits Mao with its tail, sending him flying. Just as it's about to crush him with its head, Fang appears and saves him. The two of them run into the forest, heading toward the flammable black liquid. The snake chases them in a furious rage. They hide behind a tree. It writhes in pain and crawls out of the forest. Finally, the snake collapses and dies. Zhong walks toward the snake and opens its mouth to retrieve his daughter. He loses hope that she'll wake up, but she comes back to life. And with that, we've reached the end of the episode. If you've made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Bye bye!